You can see the same design with the Avenue of the Dead and Map of Vatican City and Map of the Central Zone of Corral Supi Valley, Peru. The Anunnaki were tall, 8 to 12 foot, if not taller. The doors in the Vatican are over 21 foot tall. The Vatican has the pine cone statue that was originally outside the Roman Pantheon, which is the same pine cone shape that the Anunnaki are seen holding in carvings. The Vatican Museum has an entire section dedicated to animal sculptures. However, when was the last time you have seen a centaur? The first carving of a centaur wasn't Greek, it was Sumerian, with the Anunnaki. The Vatican seal is the same as the Anunnaki GODs' home planet symbol. You'll see it wherever the gods were, including Egypt and on the dollar bill.
To watch the full 30-minute documentary, visit ourtruehistory.co.uk. There's over 1,000 documentaries there made by me. Our True History. Now we know the Bible did copy the older stories. We can now look at what the Bible was trying to say but got things mixed up.
Let me break this passage down. Genesis 1:6-8, Young's literal translation. And God saith, Let an expanse be in the midst of the waters, and let it be separating between waters and waters. That is actually referring to the start of the solar system. Here in the Enuma Elish tablets in the British Museum is what it says about the start of our solar system. When in the height heaven was not named, and the earth beneath did not yet bear a name, and the primeval Apsu, who begat them, and Chaos, Tiamut, the mother of them both. Their waters were mingled together, and no field was formed, no marsh was to be seen, when of the gods none had been called into being, and none bore a name, and no destinies were ordained. What that means is, and the primeval Apsu, who begat them, and Chaos, Tiamut, the mother of them both. Apsu and Tiamat are primordial deities. They symbolize the mingling of waters and the chaotic state before creation. Now when the giant water planet Tiamat got smashed up also in the Enuma Elish, one half of her he established as a covering for heaven. He fixed a bolt, he stationed a watchman, and bade them not to let her waters come forth. I'll reread that to let it sink in. One half of her he established as a covering for heaven. We know heaven means space, so we have one half of the water planet called Tiamat saying out in space covering space. The water from the planet also was there in space. Let's go back to the rest of what the Bible says. And God maketh the expanse, and it separateth between the waters which are under the expanse, and the waters which are above the expanse, and it is so. And God calleth to the expanse heavens, and there is an evening, and there is a morning, day second. Matches perfectly, but there is more. I'll get to it in a moment. I just need to address this part. And there is an evening, and there is a morning, day second. That part doesn't belong with the creation story. That part belongs 4.5 billion years later, when the Anunnaki were here on Earth. I'll cover that in a moment. So let's get back to the covering we now have in the universe from a broken planet. Allow me to read out the translations of the tablets in Columbia University, which are owned by the Rothschilds and translated by George and Ryan Moorhen.
Apsu ruled the void all by himself. Then his winds mixed the waters of the beginning, and Apsu cast a divine and clever spell over the waters. He slept soundly in the deep of the void. Tiamat, the mother of everything, became his wife. She, indeed, was a mother from heaven and a watery beauty.
That was the creation part of the texts. Now this is the part where the planet Nibiru came into our solar system and broke Tiamat up, creating Earth, its moon, and the asteroid belt called the Hammer Bracelet.
Lord Nibiru returned to Tiamat, whom he had tamed. He found her, glanced at her dead body, and then walked away. A deception was devised to divide the monster in his heart. Then, like a muscle, he split her chest and lower torso into two halves. When the Lord trod on her backside, he severed her top half. He cut open her inner channels and marveled at her golden veins. He summoned the north wind, his ally, from his side. He instructed them to place the severed head of the wind in the empty area. The Nibiru wind then passed over Tiamat, sweeping over her raging waves. Nibiru fired a lightning bolt at North Wind. He transmitted a message, and Tiamat's head was taken away in a blaze of light to an unknown location. Kingu was also sent away with her, and the portion that had been severed was to be his friend. Nibiru then considered what would happen to the back part. He wanted it to be a combat trophy that would survive eternally. The battleground to be enshrined serves as a permanent reminder. He used his mace to sever the horse's back. They then strung them all together to form a hammered bracelet. He secured them as watchmen by locking them together, a firmament to keep the waters separate from the waters. Nibiru has created beautiful works of art by separating the upper waters above the firmament from the lower waters.
From NASA, astronomers have confirmed gas, specifically water vapor, around a comet in the main asteroid belt for the first time, indicating that water ice from the primordial solar system can be preserved in that region, proving there is water just as the tablets said there was. The hammer bracelet, which is the asteroid belt, is the separation of one heaven above the asteroid belt, and below which surrounds Earth is the firmament. Let's look again, and the Bible. Let it be separating between waters and waters. And God maketh the expanse, and it separateth between the waters which are under the expanse, and the waters which are above the expanse. There you have it. No invisible dome, no solid object.
To watch the full long documentary of this, visit ourtruehistory.co.uk. You'll find over 1,000 other documentaries that have solved mysteries you never thought possible.
Does anyone else think that this picture, which shows some flappy things there, and some angels and an eagle facing to the right, is the same as this, with the flappy bits there? Now, originally, the actual eagle was actually facing to the right, and they normally have the things coming out. You'll see this in the Sumerian planet symbol for Nibiru as well. So, does anyone think that this is similar to that? This is in the Vatican, by the way. In God we trust. Let me know your thoughts. I've been asked a few times why this book isn't in normal shops and it's only on Amazon. That's because the way Amazon works, I make 50p on each book. If I was to do it what they call extended distribution, I make nothing. So, as much as I want to give it away, I did spend a lot of time on this with all the evidence down the bottom, etc., on every single page. So unfortunately, you can only get it from Amazon. So my apologies for that. My new documentary's out. It's called Anunnaki Pinecone, What Is It? It's now available. You can find this documentary. It's about 20 minutes long, from my website. Once you type in whatever it is that you're after, just scroll down, and obviously on this case you'll be looking for pinecone. So Anunnaki Pinecone, what is it? Just click this link and you will be taken to this documentary. Enjoy. This person on another post of mine said that the Anunnaki created a worship gene in us humans, or Homo sapiens, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, except Billy Carson had said it, and of course people listen to Billy Carson, and even Billy's admitted now that the Ark was a boat, because he's probably watched my videos, whereas before I've got some videos of Billy saying that the Ark could have been a boat or it could have been a spaceship, and yet we've had the tablets in the British Museum explaining what the boat was made out of, which is wood, so it's not a spaceship. So anyway, so this person's obviously probably listened to someone like Billy Carson, where he says that there's a worship gene. So just to give this person a bit of context, while I do believe the Anunnaki genetically created us, because we've got fused chromosomes, and I've read out the tablets many times where they talk about creating us, What you probably don't realise is the translations by the Moorhens actually explain that they struggled 6 times. In fact, you've also got the Enki and Nimna tablets that show that they failed 6 times to create a human. Do you honestly think that they're going to go, oh, we failed 6 times, maybe we should take out that worship gene, that could be the problem? Stupid. But also, if you read the translations by the Moorhens from the tablets in Columbia University, you'll find that the tablets say that the first Homo sapiens couldn't actually speak properly at all. In fact, they just grunted. So you're going to ask a race that can literally just about carry baskets for us of gold or ore, which is what the whole reason that they were created for. You're going to then stick a worship gene in there so that we would worship whoever it was that created us. No. Also, how stupid. Also, the Anunnaki were in a rush to get their planet saved. So the last thing they would want to do is create a species and then say, oh, let's stick a worship gene in. Because at 2 and 12 o'clock, we're going to have them all stop and go on their hands and knees and pray to us because we're desperate for the gold to be made, which is why we created these creatures in the first place. But hey, let's let them stop and worship us. And then all they'll be doing is going, ugh, ugh, ugh. It's crazy. And of course, the most important part of all of that is the fact that we have zero evidence of a worship gene. Dogs kind of worship humans. Does that mean someone's gone along and stuck a gene in there? And of course, I don't worship anyone, so that doesn't quite work either. Oh, bless you, my child. Follow me. It's a lot easier than making up crap.
Wow, guys, look at this book. If you're interested in the same subjects that I am, just take a look here. These are the chapters. Ancient Earth, finding out about how it was formed, etc. This is also based off of science as well as ancient tablets. Amazing book. Ancient Moon and Mars, Anunnaki, Egypt, Dinosaurs and Man. In other words, did they actually coexist? Not 65 million years ago, but more recently, up to about 1,000 years ago. Shows you there. Bloodlines, little green men. It wasn't obviously the green was, and it tells you why people call it green when they're actually grey. Very clever. Souls and Spirits, Black Ops Secret Program, Crop Circles, other aliens, different types of aliens, Men in Black, Time Travel, Remote Viewing. You can get this book basically on Amazon. Absolutely fantastic. And there is a sequel. This book's called Black Ops, Aliens, Spirits, Bigfoot, and Our Untold History. What do you buy someone that has absolutely everything? You buy them this book, which is a sequel to this book. You don't have to buy them in order. And they're both on Amazon. And there's a third coming out soon as well. So this chapter's got mermaids, which shows the Anunnaki were the first people to talk about mermaids, believe it or not. In fact, they were actually Anunnaki, not mer people, not humans. Giants, the Bible, it goes through, shows you that the Anunnaki were the gods in the Bible. Ancient sanctuary structures, such as Bimini Roads, etc. Pixies, yeah, the amount of cultures around the world that talk about little people. Unbelievable, fascinating. Bermuda Triangle, levitation, skinwalkers, telekinesis and telepathy, Atlantis, vampires, zombies and werewolves, dowsing and ley lines, synchronicity and coincidence, hypnosis and the future. Absolutely amazing book. It's called Atlantis, Mermaids, Pixies, Giants and Our Untold History. I can't recommend it enough.
The Vatican, home of the Anunnaki, did Marduk or one of the other Roman gods ask for the Vatican to be built? Well, I have done a deep dive and I kind of answer it, I think, with evidence. So here are the comments. It only was out yesterday. As always, another banger, keep them coming, fascinating. Someone's saying they're going to the Sistine Chapel, brilliant video, loved it, etc. So you can actually watch it, it's free of charge. It's on my Patreon page, but it is free of charge. So all you have to do is just sign up for Patreon. It costs nothing. And click on the collections tab and then go to the ones that says free. There's over 160 odd documentaries on all sorts of subjects. And go to the one that says free. There's 47 videos there free of charge. Some of them are over an hour long. And there's the Vatican one there, so you can just watch that without having to pay. There's other videos. I did a video a short while back where I said that allegedly
at least one of the stones in Stonehenge is now actually from Scotland, not Wales. And someone said to me, how can you say allegedly when it's now been proven that it's from Scotland? And I said, well, it was actually proven that it was from Wales until they then proved that it was from Scotland. However, they're now saying that it's actually not from Scotland. So once again, because I was smart enough to put the word allegedly, because I didn't trust their information, whereas the person that told me I was wrong trusted it, I didn't trust it, and it turns out I'm right. So once again, the stones are up for debate on where they're actually from.
This is not a religious book. This is a book that shows evidence that the Anunnaki created us, etc. Even though YouTube have blocked me advertising it, saying it's in religious beliefs. But there's no religion in here whatsoever. Nothing to do with religion. It's just to do with the tablets. The ancient tablets that tell us about the Ark. The tablets are in the British Museum. That was what the shape of the Ark looked like. So if you're interested in a kid's book that actually tells you the evidence and is not religious in any shape or form, even though they will block me, all you have to do is go to Amazon. It's on Amazon and you can buy it. It's called Our True History, and it's the world's first book that actually has evidence, and it's not religious in any shape or form.
That Sasquatch, Bigfoot are a genetic creation to do work on Earth.
Linda's saying that she's been told that Sasquatch was a genetic creation to do work here on Earth by other aliens. I don't see that at all. The logic that an alien race needs to seed another race here on Earth to give the first alien race information about the planet. And don't forget, Native Americans used to see Bigfoot, so Bigfoot's been around a very, very long time. So if the first aliens could not just figure it out themselves, whatever it is they need to learn, bear in mind the Bigfoots don't have any tech with them to be able to do whatever research that the first aliens want. I don't see it at all. And of course, the Bigfoots have to hide behind trees and all that kind of stuff. Give them some tech to hide. So yeah, I don't see it at all.
The Vatican, home of the Anunnaki, did Marduk or one of the other Roman gods ask for the Vatican to be built? Well, I have done a deep dive and I kind of answer it, I think, with evidence. So here are the comments. It only was out yesterday. As always, another banger. Keep them coming. Fascinating. Someone's saying they're going to the Sistine Chapel. Brilliant video, loved it, etc. So you can actually watch it. It's free of charge. It's on my Patreon page, but it is free of charge. So all you have to do is just sign up for Patreon. It costs nothing. And click on the collections tab. And then go to the ones that says free. There's over 160 odd documentaries on all sorts of subjects. And go to the one that says free. There's 47 videos there free of charge. Some of them are over an hour long. And there's the Vatican one there, so you can just watch that without having to pay. There's other videos.